Okay, welcome. My name is Per Steele, and I'm going to walk you through the avatar-based platform. And first of all, I would like to talk about the speak key on the keyboard, the Z key, zebra. You press that speak key when you use a platform, so that the avatar should speak. So you press the key and talk. Speak key, zebra. So I'm going to share my screen with you and walk you through the details of the platform. So you come into this part here. It's training.avbitlabs.com. You just type your login and your password. Then you come into this specific room here. Here we have a possibility to change. So no, it's that one. It's the position where you choose your course. And then we could just go through it briefly here. Here we have the book avatar training room. You come into this position here. We could actually book the room here. We have chosen the date. We call it avatar demo. And we see you could reserve for specific position, but we keep it open. So we have created a room now from 2 p.m. We have taken for 50 minutes. And it's a great choice, the computer says. So let's book that room. You could see on the screen here that we have booked this specific room. And then we go out in the lobby again. I could also mention to you that we have these equipment tests. I won't do it now because we are on another computer. I'm sharing my screen. You just press that equipment, and then you get the checkup if your microphone and camera is okay, if the browser and the server and the camera. So that's an easy way to test if everything is running. So if I'm just going to be the avatar now, we have booked a room here, and I will control the child. I will be the child, and Shauna will be the interviewer. You see, I have created this room here. I could choose the position, being the child, being the interviewer, or an observer. We could see that Shauna is in place here, and I will take the seat as the avatar. So I could see that Shauna is in place. She can't see me. She just see the chairs in the screen now. So I will go into this part here. I will pitch shift my voice up to 130. I will choose
Sounds good.
Kim as before, and I will use the plain meeting room. So that's okay with me. And I see that just 2 in the room here, and I will actually start the recording here so that we know that everything is in place. So here we see that the recording is started now here. And I will start talking as the avatar now. Okay, should I sit here in the chair, you mean?
Yeah, come on in. Take a seat. Thanks for meeting me here today, Kim. Did Per tell you anything about what we'd be doing here today?
No, he never tells me anything.
Oh dear. Well, we're going to have a talk about how things are going at home for you. How does that sound?
I don't know. I don't really like it. I tell you no.
What was that? You don't really like what?
I don't like them. I don't think they like me either.
Oh, okay. How come?
They just complain of me all the time, you know. You're lazy, late for school, not doing homeworks and so on.
All right.
Well, I just have to go and fix the thing.
See you soon.
So that could be the normal situation. You just record it, you do those changes and the sound, choose the settings. Don't forget the Z button with the speak button, and then press recording. And then we will find the recording outside in the analysis room. That's mainly everything that you have to remember about how the recording is done. And then just press exit room. And then we're out here. You just go to the lobby here, and then you will find the recording in analysis room. And now we see that we have created 4, and then it's the last one here. And you could find that recording there. So that's the main part of the platform. Then you could look on the interview and analyze it afterwards. So okay, we continue from here. We'll go a little more closely to the different details. We just, as we did before, we just log in to this position here. As I mentioned before, we have the avatar training room. You book your training here. You have to choose that one first, the right course. Normally you will just have one course. You just mark your slot here. Let's say you want another time here. And you just choose the time to start and how long that it will be. So 30 minutes, 50 minutes, and so on. You could choose. Then you could say, I talk new test, new interview. I said. Interview, and I book a room there. Here you could see new interview, 3 p.m. today. So now we just go out in the lobby again.
And just to quickly show you what the room looks like if you go in as an interviewer into avatar training, taking a seat. So when you very first come in, you should get this prompt here to pick your webcam and your microphone and click allow. That should hopefully be in your own language as well. And so this is what you see when you are the interviewer. You don't see the adult on the other side who is in the role of acting as the child. You see the child coming in and taking a seat. You see your own camera so that you can see what the person pretending to be the child can see. You can also close that. Then you have very similar settings to what Per has introduced in the child in the avatar section. You can toggle your video, you can mute your microphone. You also have this test equipment option. You see who else is here. So because we don't have a child sitting in here because it's just me in this room right now showing you what this looks like. And then, of course, you have the chat feature so that you can chat with the interviewer and the observers about anything that you might need support or ideas from them on. So that's this room. Exit. And then as an observer, we're going to take a seat here. And so what you'll see here as an observer is the child. You'll see the interviewer in this camera section here. But you can see who is here, so it's just me. And then here you have the option to, hello, chat with anyone else who is in the room.
Now, I would like to be the child in this avatar training. So as I said before, you could choose a different. So here you could see I have Shauna, she will be the interviewer here. And as observer, you could observe, you could see and hear everything that's happened in the room, but you can't talk. You can just chat with the other person. And I take that seat, I go into the room here. And now I see that Shauna is here. I hear that some noise in the sound, but so we'll see if we could get rid of that. Now that disappeared, perfect. And here you see, compared to the old platform, the basic functionalities of the avatar is the same, but it's more easy to handle. So if you see here first, we look on the settings here. Toggle my video, that's not normally, you don't need to do that. Mute my microphone in this position here, because now we are screen sharing and so on. I will actually mute my microphone. And then you can see you could test my equipment even from here. And then we come into this little interesting part here. That's the pitch shift. It's what makes my sound, because when I say hello, the avatar should say hello, much brighter voice. So I normally slide the slider here to 1.4. That's okay for me. The delay, sometimes when you are on a little slow connection, it could be that you could say, sometimes I have 100 milliseconds, but normally I don't have any delay at all. I just have it on that position there. If we continue here, we could choose a different avatar. I choose Kim here. And then we could change the different room. We could have it in a classroom. We could have it in a nursing office. I choose here, plain meeting room. So, and then we could take up that part. As you see here, Shauna's picture moves a little down. So that's the best position. And then we could say, who's here? I could see that I'm here and Shauna is here. We take it up again. And then we have the chat part here. We could take that up totally, but I think it's good. I could say, hello. So, and that's everybody, and Shauna responded. And that's also for the observer. So if you're an observer and you would like to say, hello, we can't hear you, or let's say if you discuss something after an interview in a talk with the child, you could have your conversation with the observers and the interviewer in this chat box here. So that's open for every participant, interviewer, observers, and the person who controls the child. So we can take that up. Here you see the alternatives for the child. When I press sit down, the avatar would appear in the chair. And here you have very attentive, very inattentive to very attentive. I must say that I don't use those attentive levels that much. I could make the avatar go out again, but then I could take her inside in the room again. We also have some position where we could show that the avatar does like that, shows that somebody hits the face or somebody trying to choke. But the main focus I want you to have, it's about these parts here. We could see the different kind of emotions. The avatar gets surprised and maybe happy or angry or disgusted for something. So I would say that trying to find a couple of positions that you find most suitable. So avoid spinning around in that circle too much. when having interview. Focus on what to say. If you want to change emotion, trying to, I mean, sometimes I see when you get a question and then the child switches around too much. I don't think that's good for the conversation. Trying to focus on the interview and trying to find a couple of positions that you think it's good in the start. So don't, because otherwise there's too many choices. It will be like a child in a candy store. There's too many options. So trying to find the best part to use. And then, as I said, I talked about the speak button. As you see, when I talk, when I press, you can see that the central makes, you can see that the avatar is talking now. But that's the way when you talk, you just press it directly when you talk. And then Shauna would feel like it's like the avatar who's talking, because Shauna just can see the avatar. She doesn't see me on the screen. Yeah. And then I should show you one thing more. As I told you about recording, just press recording 1. As you see, starting up recorder, and it will take a couple of seconds here, and then it becomes red. And you see that the time is going on the screen there. It looks the same on Shauna's screen. And then we also have, let's say, if you are an observer, if you think that the interviewer Shauna here asked something specific at 1:30, you notice the time, and then you could easily find that position on the recording afterward to be able to discuss it and see, could that question be put in another way? So I think that that's the main part here. Focus on the interview, press the Z button when you talk, and then choose a few couples of good position that you feel you're comfortable with. And then you could expand it afterwards. So I will now go out from this room and take a little small part about the recording. We're out in the lobby. You just have 2 options here: avatar training and analysis. If you just press analysis, you could see that we have one. You see that we have a lot of recording here, and we have avatar demo. As you can see here, we have two recording. That the first one did here, and then we have the second one. I just press that one here, and you see here, remember this one here, because there is some kind of bug that we haven't found yet, but just mark that one and then take it back, and then it will be synchronized when you use it in that way. So that's everything that you need to know. And as you see in the bottom of the screen here, you could see the time, and that's good, because if you have marked specific as observer, you know easy to how to find that position here. We say, let's look on 39. So that's an easy feature to be able to save time and find the most interesting parts of the recording. So I'm just going to escape from that one here and then go out in the lobby again. So I think that's actually everything. So it should not be complicated. It should be just easy. Go into the room, talk as the avatar, and interview the avatar. So, well, I could just wish you good luck. I will really emphasize equipment tests, as we talked about before. And part of the equipment test is also these: use headset. And you see I have a really small, low budget headset here, but it's really good. My microphone comes just beside my mouth, but very clear. It affects the sound quite a lot. Often we have it hanging here, much more bad sound in that position. This is really good. So if you have spectacles like me, that's the perfect position. And also, this part is important. Use cable. Use cable, and because it would make your quality of the computer so much more stable. So that's important. And we have talked about Firefox before. So Firefox is the web browser that you should use. I have one important thing. If you press that part here, I won't start it now, but I'll just stop here. So there is a bug in the system because the sound is not synchronized, something happening. But just if you press and then put it back, everything will work smoothly. So just hopefully we'll find that little bug, something doing that it's not synchronized, but it's easily handled by just doing like that and then take it back again. And then everything will go smoothly.
So, and you see, always use headset because, and here you see, this is a really low budget headset. It's that you put on papers here, but it's a perfect position of the microphone. It should not touch the skin because if it does, it gives a scratching sound. But it should not, because if it hangs here, it's quite a lot of difference between the sound quality compared to having it just beside, not in front, because it then will hear your sound of the wind when you blow. And also using mic, it avoids echoes, because if you use the screen on the microphone or on the computer, you will get the computer sound also, and there is you will hear the clicks and so on. And also connect this microphone properly and connect so that it's fully inserted in the computer. Small details that could make you mad if you think, oh, why doesn't it work? And small things like that. So, and I would also like to say, you could expect the platform function of the avatar, how fast it will react. So if it doesn't, actually I have a new fiber installation in my house and it didn't work, but it worked on this old phone that is 10 years old. So, and it was a failure on the internet fiber connection. They just did an update and then it worked properly. So you could expect it to work. So you should not accept bad behavior from the platform part. So, and we talked about it before, find the optimal way to have your voice changed. Then you will get most use of that part. And then the correct delay level. And then we have talked about the favorite moods of the avatar, how and to use them. And use a small part in the beginning. And then when you get used to the system, and then you get very, very familiar, just could increase the amount of things. And as I mentioned before, avoid changing of the avatar. When you get a question from the other one, focus on the speak button, the speak key to answer. So just avoid also attentiveness. Don't use it in the beginning. And focus on how to react reasonably fast. If you get a question, focus on that. If I talk about to use the when I act as the avatar, I often use, if I get a question, what happened then? Then as the avatar, I do the sound, but I don't press the speak key. But then I say, I didn't like it. So trying to use, and also trying to split long sentences, because it's not so good if you just press the speak button, then you say, I didn't like that, and then they came, and then it will not be so natural with a child compared to doing it small things. You start with, how long do I have to stay here? Okay, I didn't like it at all. I mean, they wasn't very nice. Split it into small sentences. It will make the conversation more natural, and it will the avatar will appear much more realistic, I would say. So I actually think that those are the main parts. Trying to focus on those quite small things, you might say, but they are really core part of how to make it a good flow. Because the central part is the conversation. The avatar just creates the frame and the basic settings. The focus is the interview and your analyze of how you put questions. So, good luck.